Hey there, and welcome. Have you ever tried to talk about your travels in English, but you just couldn't find the right words? Well, you are in exactly the right place. Today, we're going to cover all the essential words you need for journeys and transport.
So, to make this super easy and kind of fun, we're going to follow the story of our friend Alex. As you can see, Alex needs to plan a trip, but he's not totally sure about the right English words to use. Don't worry, we're going to help him out.
And that really brings us to the big question, right? How do we talk about travel in English? It might seem easy, but using the right words can make a huge difference. We're going to break it all down step by step.
Okay, so first things first. Before Alex can even think about going anywhere, he needs to learn the basic words. You can think of these as the essential building blocks for planning any trip you can imagine.
First up, we've got the word journey. Now, a journey isn't just one single moment. It's the whole act of traveling from point A to point B. Your journey to work could be short, or your journey on a holiday could be really exciting. It's the entire trip.
Now, you're not going to get very far on public transport without a ticket, right? This is that piece of paper or, the digital pass on your phone that you buy to prove you've paid for your journey on a train, a bus, or even a plane.
And where do you actually go to start your journey on a train? Well, you go to a station. This is the building where trains arrive and leave. And for buses, you might go to a big bus station or just a smaller bus stop on the street.
So let's do a super quick review of the words we've just learned. We've got journey, which is the whole trip, travel, the action itself, ticket, which is what you buy to ride, and station or stop, the place where you wait. These examples here are a fantastic way to see how they're used in a real sentence.
Excellent. So Alex knows the planning words. Now we get to the fun part, choosing how to travel. Let's take a look at all the different kinds of transport Alex could use for his journey.
Wow, there are so many options to choose from. You could take a bus or a train for public transport, or something more personal like a car or a taxi. For shorter trips, a bike is always great, while planes and ships are just perfect for those really long journeys.
So let's look at when you'd use each one. You'd probably take a bus for getting around a city, right? A train is great for going between cities, and of course, a plane is for flying to whole other countries. It's really all about picking the right transport for the journey you're on.
Okay, so knowing the words for different types of transport is one thing, but how do we actually use them correctly in a sentence? This is where prepositions come in. These little words are so powerful, and we're about to learn 3 really simple rules for using them.
Honestly, it's as easy as 1, 2, 3. First, we use by to talk about the general way we travel. Second, we use on when we're on big public vehicles. And third, we use in for smaller private vehicles. Let's see them in action.
So here's rule number 1 in action. When someone asks you how you get to work, you can say, I travel by train or I travel by car. See? By just describes the method, the general way you're traveling.
Now for rule 2. When you are physically on a big vehicle, like a bus, a train, a plane, or a ship, you use the word on. You're physically on board, so you'd say, she is on the train right now.
And finally, for that smaller, more private transport like a car or a taxi, we use in. You're inside a small personal space. So you say, I am in the car. So just remember this. You're on the bus, but you're in the taxi. Simple.
All right, you know what time it is? It's time for a quick quiz to see what we've learned. This is the moment of truth. Is Alex ready to plan his trip? Oh, I think so. Let's find out.
All right, here's the first question. If you're traveling to another country, let's say the USA, what do you need to take? To go to the USA, I need to take a, what? Think about long distance, international travel.
And the answer is a plane. Yes, absolutely. For traveling between countries that are separated by a big ocean, you gotta fly on a plane. Excellent work. Okay, next up. This one's about our prepositions. We go to work, blank, train. Should the missing word be by, in, or on? Think back to our rule for the general method of travel.
The correct answer is by. We go to work by train. Yep, because we're just describing the method of transport, by is the perfect word. You are doing great. Fantastic. Alex is totally ready to go. But now, let's bring it all back to you. You know, the absolute best way to remember new language is to use it to talk about your own life. So, I want you to really think about it for a moment.
How do you usually get to school or to work? Try to answer it out loud right now. I travel by... Is it by bus, by car, by bike? Go on, practice using that full sentence.
And what about those bigger trips? For holidays or visiting family that lives far away? What transport do you use? Do you say, I use a train or I use a plane? Thinking about your own real experiences makes these words stick in your brain so much better.
We've covered some really great basics to help you talk about travel. So as we finish up, I'm going to leave you with one last question to think about, using your new English skills. Where will your next journey take you? Thanks so much for joining me, and happy travels.